We are in the heartland of Scandinavia here at the DreamHack Masters Malmö 2019. Now, I might say Malmö, whatever it might be, it doesn't matter, because we've got ENCE and Fnatic in the house. Both of these teams are looking to get things started off in the right way, in the right direction, with a best of one here for Group A. Fnatic, the favorites from Sweden. Of course, alongside them will be the Ninjas in Pajamas that have an opportunity to put numbers on the board for the Swedish side as we continue to play tug-of-war across the Öresund Bridge. Now we can see the players setting up, and that would mean it's just about time for us to jump into the action. My name being Trace Donis-Ranthis, and alongside of me will be that of Pimp and Potter. Lady and gentlemen, how are we doing?
Good, Trace, really good.
Fantastic.
Nice. Well, let's start off everything here really calmly. Let's start by looking at the groups and making some sense as to what to expect out of this group that we're going to take a dive into right about now. Because overall, when we start to look at Group A, we've already seen a little bit of the action. We've already kicked it off with the Straws and Envious, but I guess around the board, what else are we expecting?
I mean, we have a lot of teams in this group that we don't really know where to put, right? G2, I believe they just won 16-14 against Fury as well. So, you know, to be expected, I'd say, was for ENCE Fnatic. ENCE, as of recently, changed Sonny, you know, brought him into the lineup. Alexi B is out. They have not performed, you know, as you could expect. It's been a little bit disappointing. Fnatic coming into this matchup with two changes in. They bring flusha and Golden, two players that are very familiar with the Swedish scene. Two players have played in this lineup before, so it's going to be very interesting to see how that's going to pan out. There's a lot of roster changes in this Group A.
Absolutely, and we can't forget Vitality either, with Shocks coming in for MBK. I mean, that was a huge unexpected change with Vitality's upward trajectory,
Sure.
but it's going to be curious to see how that change affects their performance here at Malmö.
Let's talk a little bit about this Fnatic lineup, though, because obviously we're really close to home, and we do know that these players have a very tenured story. What do we know about Fnatic?
We know it's a team that has been struggling a lot as of lately. It's a team that has a lot of talent. It's a team that has a lot of experience. It's a team that, you can say, the organization, you know, we expect a lot when we see Fnatic play, especially at home stall, you know, in regards to DreamHacks. They have a proud history of doing well here as well. So looking at this lineup right now, I'm a little bit curious to see how they're going to perform. Like, what can we really expect from the likes of Fnatic? Brolan is obviously a young prospect, a great player. I think he's found his home here in Fnatic. He's potentially going to be the future for them. Bringing in flusha and Golden, how's that going to pan out? flusha obviously not going to be the in-game leader now, but he's a very skilled player, right? The guy that FaZe wanted to join their lineup. There were so many teams who wanted flusha to join them. He said no, and he chose to play for Fnatic again. So there must be a meaning to this. So to me, I'm curious to see how much they can get out of this lineup, and I do expect them to do well, but are we talking a semi-final team? I'm not too sure.
Yeah, and that's going to be the big question around this Fnatic lineup, what they can accomplish here in Sweden. And one man that is no stranger to accomplishing things, he's been called a wonder child, he's been called a multitude of different things, would be JW. Now, I could sit here and talk to you about his career and his accolades and everything he's got therein, or we could hear from him on a more personal and a more privy level, hearing from him directly.
Picks up a double kill, very nice play. One side, Fnatic, this is the high mind. No, still alive. Look at Fnatic, they're scrambling to get here. JW, nice close range.
Right. JW gonna walk right into it, but JW, the sixth sense, kicks in.
And it does seem like the player we've chosen to highlight from Fnatic is JW. Mirage.
Fnatic has done it! Kind of into champions in 2018!
Winning the first major ever, I think it kind of showed me and us that we have what it takes.
Fnatic are really earning this win here. Yeah. This is not coming easy. NIP are playing well, Fnatic is just playing better.
Eventually that led us to picking up Crimson Olof, and that led to 1 year of a lot of titles.
3-on-2, get right and Forrester left, the bomb goes down. And ladies and gentlemen, this could be the end. Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
DreamHack kind of gave us that platform to show ourselves, and I probably wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the DreamHack tournaments, because that would make it even harder to break through.
And there it is, they win it, and look at them, even Khan jumping up, one of the most composed people I think in Counter-Strike. Complete celebration. DreamHack Winter 2013 champions, you've got them right here on your screen.
I don't upload that much to Instagram, I would say, but the moment I picked was, I think it was E-League major qualifier in Atlanta. Me and flusha played in Godsent. Yeah, we managed to get through that qualifier 3-0. That picture kind of symbolized how I kind of felt at that moment, because it was a pretty bad moment in my career, and it was only him and me left in Godsend after Crims went back, and I kind of felt that it was him and me against the world at that point, because it was so much going against us, and obviously it was our own decisions and all that, so we have no one to blame except ourselves. But yeah, it was there when we did that 3-0, it kind of sparkled a light again. Even if it was a small light, I think it was still an important moment in my career. My career has definitely been having a lot of highs and lows. I think I would say that I have worked so much on me individually the last 1 or 2 years, but I would say that my purpose now is to pass everything on to Brolin, make sure that he keeps accelerating in the way he does and becomes even better, and hopefully wins me some titles as well.
Hit you right in the feels, right about the time for the vetoes to start, which can also hit you in the feels. But you heard it right there. He said it. He said our backs were against the wall, and pretty much it was us against the world. Well, now guess what? You're back on Fnatic, and it's still you against the world.
It is, and I mean, coming into this veto, I think this is going to be pretty challenging for Fnatic. Fnatic is a bit of a question mark coming into this, being such a newer lineup. I mean, Flusha hasn't played a LAN since February back in Katowice, so their map pool is certainly going to be a lot weaker than ENCE's side of things. And yeah, it looks like it's going to be Mirage. You know, this is a nice comfort pick. This is a nice comfort map. It's been around in the scene for so long, and it's definitely one of Fnatic's more favorable maps.
It used to be one of ENCE's best map as well. It used to be a map where you thought, all right, you don't want to play ENCE on Mirage, but ever since I believe it was Cologne where they faced Heroic in a best of one and ended up losing that one, they've been staying away from that map. The past 4 games, they lost 3 of those and they played 1 draw, which is not impressive by any means so by ENCE. So either they've been practicing Mirage again with Sonny being brought into the lineup, otherwise this seems to me like Fnatic won the veto big time.
Okay, veto aside, let's talk about where ENCE stands. We can take a look at the roster overall, or we could just talk about the fact that Sonny is here, Alexiv is out, and now they need to kind of pave the way for themselves.
Sonny hasn't been performing up to the level that many of us would have expected, right? It's fair to say it's been a little bit of a rough path for him to come into this lineup. He's not been playing competitive ever since Mousesports, so expecting him to come in and just be, you know, straight up one of the best players again as he were in Mousesports, maybe a little bit too much to expect from the guy, but he's currently sitting, you know, out of the 12 maps that he's played for ENCE, he's sitting at -7 in a KD, and that's not Sonny, right? That's not his level. He's supposed to be one of the best players in the world. He's supposed to be one of the most aggressive riflers in the world, and what we've seen so far from him coming out of ENCE, it hasn't been nowhere near the level that he's expected to be playing at.
It definitely hasn't been, and I mean, ENCE, they made this change because they were seeking that firepower. They wanted more presence in that server.
They wanted to be the #1 team in the world.
Exactly. And I mean, I think this ENCE story is very similar to that Fnatic story. Both of these teams were at the top. I mean, they weren't #1 or 2, but they were in that top 5, top 10 positions, and they were absolutely on an upward trajectory. And if we think back on Fnatic's history, they're a lineup that tried to make those changes to be better, to be contending as that #1 team, and it definitely backfired for Fnatic. And so I think ENCE are in a little bit of a similar boat as the old Fnatic lineup. They've made that change. They've brought Sonny in. But I gotta say, I don't think ENCE have to change much here. Although they have been losing, I mean, these rounds that they're losing, they're so close, and it looks like ENCE have everything that's working out for them, and somehow, some way, they just end up losing the rounds.
Everything minus a 5th player, it appears, though he has not sat down quite yet, but it will be happening sooner rather than later. Now, we talked about JW. It's only fair that we talk about, well, one of his teammates in Flusha. and just that what brings to the table here in the Fnatic is this tag team tandem duo that seems like they've been there forever.
There's a reason why that Flusher was one of the guys that everyone in the world wanted. Cloud9 tried to sign him. FaZe desperately tried to sign him, right? They tried to convince him that we want you to be our in-game leader. We believe that you could be the future with us. And FaZe is, or at least used to be, one of those powerhouses of Counter-Strike where you would think to yourself, right, why don't you want to play with Nico? Why don't you want to play with Olaf Meister, Rain, and Guardian for that matter? But Flusher said no. He waited it out. He took some time off, and now he's back in Fnatic. And I think this could potentially end up being one of the best signings for the year, I'd say. This could be the guy that is going to bring back, you know, high-tier Counter-Strike towards Fnatic. He is so good at everything he does. He's a skilled player, he's a smart player, and he's one of the few players in the world that you can say he has that sixth sense for the game, like Glaive or some other players have. You can't really put a finger on it, but he just understands the game better than everyone else.
But there's just also something a little bit further than that, because it's not just Fnatic that they're looking to put back on the map. We're talking about overall Swedish Counter-Strike. It feels like there's been a little bit of a lull right there.
There has, and I mean, again, it's those roster changes coming in, right? But a cerebral player in Flusha, absolutely. And I gotta say, I'm a little bit worried for Flusha. As I mentioned, he hasn't played an official LAN match since February, and we saw Sunny coming in. It takes a lot to get back into the groove of things, find your rhythm in that server. And when you haven't played an official LAN match in a while versus these top teams, there's certain nuances that happen in the game that you gotta get yourself back into. And so I'm curious to see if Flusha still got it, or if it's going to take him a little bit of time to get back into the groove of things.
You're saying it's not like riding a bike?
It's not like riding a bike, right? But Flusha is one of the guys that, to me, it seems like he just doesn't care, right? He's one of those, you know, geniuses at the game, and as I will agree with you, Christine, it's like, yeah, Sonny may not have played up to the level that we expected him to. I'm sure he will at some point. Whereas for Flusha, I wouldn't be surprised if he just came in here and steamrolled everyone, basically.
I gotta say, it is like riding a bike.
Oh, okay.
It's just not doing the BMX tricks on that bike.
You're not spinning the handlebars
yeah,
around,
you're not doing some
pegs.
flips.
There, Sonny. There he is. That was the guy that we were looking for to get things started here. Sonny, certainly one of the guys that is part of this project of ENCE to get them back on the map, get them back on the Cinderella storyline that we had at the beginning of the year at the Katowice Major. But I guess at this point, I should ask you guys where you stand, because this has got the potential to go all the way.
Sure does. I think it could be a close game. I think it's a little bit hard to predict who's going to win this one. We haven't seen Fnatic play at this level. We haven't seen Fnatic with this roster, basically, you know, go up against a good opponent. We are a little bit harsh on ENCE in the sense that we expected more from them, but it has been very close games, as you said. It's not like they're being blown out of the water. So I would personally say this is going to be a very close game, a 50-50 type of scenario. But I lean towards Fnatic simply down to the fact that I think bringing in Flusha and Golden is going to steer them at the right path. And I think they have enough individual skill in order to deal with ENCE right now, who relies way too much on Alu playing well, and that can't keep up.
I gotta disagree with Jacob here. I'm gonna go with ENCE here. As I mentioned, I think all of their matches were very close, whether on the scoreline or whether in that server. Each player is doing his due diligence, doing his responsibilities, and doing his job. And I think they just need a little bit to close it out in the end. But I'm seeing ENCE winning this, Trace.
Let me put this into perspective for both of you very quickly. ENCE once gave me a jersey, and therefore ENCE will win this. I'm just kidding. But there's a real chance here for ENCE to bounce back from the woes that they've had. And it's time for us to bounce back into the server as we jump into Mirage. ENCE versus Fnatic is on the cards, and that's what we're going to begin to look at as our second best of one gets underway here at the CORSAIR DreamHack Masters. I do have your commentators. They are ready to take over control, and we're going to give it to them right now. Henry G and Machine.
Thanks very much, Trace, Potter, and Pimp. We are going to be breaking this one down here at the casting desk, and well, he is.
We'll try our best. We'll
give it our best. But the analysts have painted this one to be, you know, this one has the potential to go all the way. It's a very different picture than the one they painted for Astralis Envy. And do you kind of agree with that testament?
Absolutely so. Uncharted territory here for both teams. The return of Flusha, it's got to be warming the heart of a lot of fans across the world. I'm unsure what kind of form he's going to be in. It's been a while since we've seen him on the server, and of course the addition of Sunny towards ENCE as well. I was not a big fan of that move, I'll be honest with you. Sunny's a great player. He belongs in this team, but removing the in-game leader seems like such a risky move considering the trajectory they were on, the massive success they had last year. Why you would change that, I don't know.
It was the most polarizing roster change I think we've had this year. A lot of the fans, I mean, it was a volatile discussion. Everyone had their own opinion. And of course, we won't really truly know exactly how it felt and how it went down as the players from ENCE will. Interviews, though, with Ariel, that one sparked a lot of discussion given the fact that it did feel like they didn't really have an answer as to why. Lots of he's better than him kind of dismissal of any sort of discussion surrounding their roster changes. But leadership, yes, falls to Alu now. And what's your take on that? Alu making the calls. Have we seen this before?
We have, and I just feel like he's definitely a cerebral and smart player, but whether he has the personality and charisma to be a leader, I'm not so sure. I obviously have no idea how he acts on the server, but his general temperament doesn't suggest to me he's a leader by default. Speaking of leaders, we've got Golden joining the Fnatic rosters once again. For me, he is a leader. He is someone who's very calm and stoic on the server and has been heralded as a great in-game leader. Coming up from the Fnatic Academy originally is where he first found success, and he's got a bit of a name for himself. I think he's probably the highest regarded in-game leader in Sweden right now.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I mean, let's not forget, of course, flusha has tried his hand at it prior to his, well, I can't call it retirement. What do we call it? His break. He took a
hiatus.
A hiatus, that's the one. Yeah. Look at the Mr. Vocab over here.
Indeed.
Henry Thesaurus Greer, everybody. But no, there is actually some interesting parallels to be drawn between these because, you know, Golden was removed from Fnatic and a similar pushback than the community had from that in the same way they have for Alexi B's removal of ENCE. Now Golden's back on the roster. I mean, they perhaps have thought better of their choices to remove him.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how this one pans out. In terms of who's going to win, I've got ENCE just because of their history on Mirage. We're not really sure what Fnatic are bringing to the table. Mirage is a map we don't see much played at all. We didn't cast it a single time in it for New York. No one seems to be playing it that much. It seems to be a very cookie-cutter base map at this point. A lot of teams operate in a very similar way. For me, it's the map that goes next in the pool. I'm not sure if you're that way inclined as well.
Given it's the one I know the most smokes on, that would upset me just a little bit. Probably go down a rank or two, but no, I do think it's definitely next on the chopping block. When you take a look at what else is available, we of course just saw New Cash in New York. Not quite ready to see that back introduced, but the likes of Cobblestone's been being played with. There's a lot of maps waiting in the wings to take that 7th spot.
That New Cash as well coming through.
Yeah,
we got
exactly.
a little sneak peek at that. Whether that's going to come through yet to be seen. I don't think it will for a while, but it's certainly looking promising.
It is. And actually, casting my eyes over the rosters and reminding myself that this is 2 teams with roster changes, Mirage makes sense for that map pick, right? I mean, they haven't had a wealth of time to develop and to refine a map pool, so why not go somewhere where you just described it as cookie cutter? Everyone in the server is going to be all too familiar with Mirage, and therefore we should have a very competitive game here.
Yeah, absolutely. And players to look out for, especially Brolan. He is the boy wonder of Sweden right now. flusha has been saying in interviews, maybe not recently, but before, that he feels that he can be one of the best players in terms of rifles in the world. That hasn't really been realized yet. He's definitely got lots of talent, but we haven't had one of those massive events like, wow, this guy, he is the next big talent.
I think we've had massive games, massive halves, yet to see the tournament run. Taking a look at the MVP stats for Breezy, they were just on my social media feed this morning, and I was like, damn, the consistency between 1.15 and 1.5. That's a rating and a half.
When you watch him play as well, he's got that certain je ne sais quoi about him. You can see he's got that kind of X factor.
Instinct.
I know Brolan's decent. I know he can be a world-class player, but I think it's going to take some time. Under the leadership of Golden and the experienced, grizzled veterans next to him, we could see the most out of him this tournament. Hopefully, we do see some fireworks go off this game. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. It's going to be a CT start for Fnatic. ENCE with just a basic setup here. 1 smoke and a Molotov. Doesn't mean they'll be able to do anything too technical, but there's enough there as they go into a very passive hold at the very start of this round, spreading their resources around all the key choke points. Is Alu to patrol any CT aggression towards middle. In terms of the CD setup, 3 players towards B. That's Crims, flusha, and Golden. Just Brolan alone on the A side. It's a bit of a retake setup here from Fnatic if it does lean towards A. For now, though, ENCE in towards T spawn, starting to head back towards the B bomb site here. They still have the single smoke and the Molotov. Molotov's most likely to be used towards the van, I would imagine. We'll see if that works out for them. See flusha just tucking himself in. I think he's boosted on the bomb side there. Just great position on a pistol round, especially.
It has been a while since I saw flusha's name at the bottom of that screen. How exciting to see him in action. He won't be tested first, though, or perhaps he will. He's alongside Crims on B. We're going to see the utility start to rain out. Crims will fire off a warning shot. Aerial with one in his shoulder, but they commit, and he's fast out towards the site. flusha's there to receive the first, but Sergey, that's quick with the Glock. flusha's hitting them. Sneak, and oh my goodness! Catches 2, a potential 3rd. Aerial stops that, but the damage is done. Bomb did not go down. ENCE, they have the numbers. The rotates coming in was from Brolan, but now just JW from Apps. He has the present on Aerial, but nice quick frags from the Finns enables them to find the first.
Well, there it is. ENCE with a very slow passive hold at the start, waiting for the aggression there. And they actually jump into the lion's jaws at that point, going towards that B bomb side. 3 players waiting for them. Sergey and Ariel to open things up. And as I said, that's such a great spot for a pistol. It's unlikely it's checked. And of course, it's not. He even gets 2 frags then. Still not enough. And it's going to be a very convincing round here for ENCE as Fnatic take the full eco. They'll be buying up in the 3rd. And ENCE preparing for that. Because Sunny's actually taken an eco here, Alex. So he'll be able to potentially drop the AWP for Alu in that first gun round. That's a nice idea here. It's a bit of a risk, but this one works out perfectly.
A lot of faith in his teammates there. He knows he's going up against the full eco, so no real risk, especially with X7 just going to bop around as the MAC-10 scout. He's going to be able to make the call that B is quiet. And with that investigation, if he continues to press the issue, he is going to be received by 3 CTs. They have got quite the lean towards B, almost all of them. In fact, yeah, with Sunny's progress now towards A, X7, he's just going to be given the mission to go for somewhat of the flank. Smoke towards window, and a take towards A. They haven't quite got the bomb, though, so this one could take a while.
Oh, there we go.
Pistol v pistol.
Yeah, and it's a lot more powerful when you have the armor and they don't. You can see that coming into full effect. The USP pretty useless against the helmets, but very, very powerful without. As Sunny continues to apply pressure, he doesn't really want to go down. He can't be too overzealous because he needs the armor. He unfortunately does lose it. Didn't need to go for those frags, but still not a huge deal. He can still drop the AWP, but certainly not as viable as it once was. We'll see whether that's the case. I feel like he should have been happy with that 1 frag and looked at the bigger picture. Either way, 5,400. He buys the AWP. He can still be dropped to weapon and have 650 for Kevlar, but not as strong as it could have been. Now he gets no grenades and no helmet.
Yeah, and of course, no helmet up against the M4s is punishing.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that was a bit of a misplay. Really had to try and stay alive there. But either way, we do have the orbs, what they wanted to see. Free fire from Alu leads to a kill towards the window, courtesy of Ariel. Not slowing down by the looks of things. Continues to fire bullets towards that connected position. He did spot one more player in the form of Flasher, and towards B they go. Golden and Crim now cowering as they know X7 is coming in. He's known very quickly with that MAC-10. Not the cleanest of sprays, but they all count. He'll pick up the most important frag of them all, and he does significant damage towards the window. Flasher will keep them in the round. It's a 3 versus 3, but the B bomb site is completely open now.
Sunny going to be responsible for getting that bomb down. He's taking his time about it, though, and oh, Brolin, he could be in a perfect fight for this. Nice catch for us. Sunny is traded. Now Brolin onto Ariel, leaves Alu to do it all. Yet to die here in round 3. 5 frags to his name. He got 4 of them in the round prior up against the USP, so yet to see him make too much impact. Well, a 1v2 would be exactly that. Still paranoid about Kitchen. Both players advancing from the same position, though, where those bullets were thrown at him. Flusher and Brolin. Missed shot, looking to reposition. Still paranoid about Kitchen. He's going to have to try and make 2 1v1s out of this, but I don't know how Fnatic are going to let him. Good spacing. Flusher's on the hunt. No HP. It doesn't matter against the AWP, and they deal with it. Plenty of time. The kit isn't present, so plenty of time, perhaps an exaggeration, but still retrieval mission from Flusher.
Well, there it is. It looked like the round was all done as ENCE managed to get 2 clean opening frags with that MAC-10 as well, but unfortunately couldn't get the bomb down quick enough. And then Alu, as you mentioned, so focused towards the kitchen, didn't have the information that both players were towards short. They played it very well, baited out 1 shot, got closer and closer, and commenced the stranglehold towards Alu here. Flusher playing very well indeed. Look at these passive angles, making sure that he takes everyone down in his path. Great wallbang towards Sunny as well, and like we said, got close enough to Alu to make things very uncomfortable. And there will be a buy here for ENCE, but Sunny's still paying the price for that initial death he received with the USP. He'll just have a deagle, but they do have the sniper once again. 3 AK-47s. Brolan close towards the A ramp here, trying to get full control of the deep smoke.
That wallbang from Flusher was lovely. Right onto the bomb plant spot. Smoke arrives early. X7 will have somewhat of a no vision duel with Crims through the wall.
Very passive play from ENCE so far. They haven't really gone for a quick round just yet. That Molotov could be very powerful indeed. If he times it well, Golden could be cooking. I don't think he'll be getting out alive. It's 10 HP. But he does. Didn't receive any bullets, but certainly got a bit hot under the collar there. Flashbang towards the A side, but Sergey to open things up. That was from the Palace position towards the steps. Nice work by him, but a decent HE. Doesn't actually connect. Now they still have 1 minute on the clock here. 3 smokes still available, flashbangs as well. JW with the AWP here, holding towards CD spawn, working in tandem with Flusher. A side's going to be difficult to hold if the smoke comes down.
This is going to be so difficult, especially given Golden's situation, both health and weaponry. JW has to be the hero. Alu trained on CT. The second he peeks, it's going to be who can click faster. Alu's just on the off angle and will be spotted out, but safe for now. And JW shifting his attention towards Palace, a smoke to enable the fights, but they already have quite the spread. ENCE, 25 seconds, the bomb plant will become a priority. Aerial responsible for it, the smokes enable a safe plant. Can't be pressured, they'll use Golden as somewhat of a bait, try and get the information as best he can, and Sunny just under the model of his gun. Now with his back turned to Golden, didn't get anything from that. Aerial will be filling the feed as well, just 2 remain for Fnatic. JW catching Aerial's a start, but still looks like an impossible round. JW looking to change that though, shifts the scales in his favor. Halfway gone on that bomb plant, Sergey towards Palace is burning, now just 1v1. What a shot. Alu, last man standing, JW holding it, and Alu, he's going to have to be quick with a shot, and there wasn't long left.
There was milliseconds on that. That's quite insane there, it comes right down to the wire, and it will be Alu holding his nerve there, the internal monologue, counting to 5, and manages to absolutely nail it there. So perfectly played, it will be 3-1. That's a massive round for them to pick up, considering how close it was before, coming right down to that 2 versus 1. So there's only $3,000 per player on the Fnatic side, even less so for the likes of Golden and Flush, who sit on $2,000. They're going to have to take pretty much full eco here. One smoke, that's in the hands of Crims, and he heads towards the A ramp. Sunny in a prime position to get a few frags here, using the lesser weaponry so far. We've had USPs, Deagles, and now a MAC-10. Perfect weapon to shut this approach down as they wait patiently once more.
Good damage from Crims. Desert Eagle bullet lodged.
Made you do it.
In, and yep, dunked by X7. Converts what Sunny started. It will be the Deagle retrieved by Brolan though. He can do a whole lot with this weapon, we've seen it. But it won't be given the opportunity. Just X7 in Palace is all that remains of the A assault. Instead, they regroup and readdress their strategy. Instead, it will be B.
Well, that's open for now. Not a single player on the CT side towards the B bomb site. Not really much you can do with this setup, to be fair. A couple of kills would be great. X7 takes significant damage there. He's still towards that Palace position, trying to give numbers, trying to give call-outs. The fact he's protected a couple of players here, that's the cue to go now. They need to get their skates on, and indeed they will. They're going to fully commit towards B. It is open for now. JW coming from the underpass, I believe, and Golden, USB in hand, towards the kitchen. Shouldn't be any chance of getting much more done than a single kill. They've only recovered a MAC-10. Yeah. Not really that useful for the next round.
And the discussion the analysts were having about ENCE and their expectations of them is that it's one of those cases of they've been so close to picking up the necessary wins to make a deep run. You know, it's best of 3s, it goes 3 maps, it's overtimes. Their results, their final placements may not be indicative of their form. That's the feedback we got from Pimp and Potter. And so round 6 of our second map here at the CORSAIR DreamHack Masters Malmö, we do see the heavy lead for the T side of ENCE, but it's time for the weapons to be once again in the hands of Fnatic.
Well, JW has the AWP, and I would say we would be expecting some high-flying antics, but he doesn't have the armor, so it'll be a little bit more subdued than usual as he makes his way towards window. Pretty standard position, could jump up towards short. Smoke goes down, Molotov towards the connector, and it's another slow start here from ENCE. Not going to be forcing the issue at the very start of the round, waiting for any sort of CT aggression, which we have seen a little bit of towards the A ramp. Grenades are exchanged towards B as X7 tries to work the pick. Free fire in the usual positions, looking for any jumping players here. Cognizant of the fact that he could be spammed, as JW will be dropped courtesy of Alu. I believe that's from the Palace position towards the steps once again. Flashbang does catch Alu in the face, did have a chance to dodge that, but for now, they'll hold up in the 5-on-4. The bomb still towards T-spawn. Just trying to bait out a utility. Look for any inquisitive CTs around the map.
Yeah, I saw an interesting kind of turn of events from Spawn. Sergey, he sat on his smoke, he just sat on the bin. Oh, sorry, we've been in America for a while. The trash can. And through a late window smoke, which has enabled Aerial to get this much control uncontested. Short a threat, though. Re-smoked by Sunny from under. Means that the fight on short can be taken should he want to. A smoke from the CTs, though.
They've got such a heavy lean towards B once again. This time it's the A split coming in from ENCE. Nice boost here. Might be able to catch a couple of players off, but they've already made their way through the connector. A little bit of intel gathered, but it doesn't do much for them. They still have to make their way and transition towards the A site. Smoke towards CT spawn is very likely at this point. Broadlander has to lie and wait. Smokes will be coming in any second with the flashbangs as well. So with a quick face, nice flashbang from Flusher there. Helps Brodan out, gives him an advantageous position. He gets 2 frags from the same spot.
Yeah, Ali wasn't flash. He hasn't got the same excuse. Missed the AWP shot and missed the opportunity for that Molotov. At least gets the timing a bit skew whiff. Now on the retake, it's 3 versus 3. Advantage heavy in ENCE, 2 from CT. X7, he can change the odds here even further in the Finns' favor. Roland first to push through, looking to find the T's who've now tucked themselves in. Great connection from X7. Sunny's done the same.
Yeah, it's really nice stuff. And Brolan needs an ace now. There's one out, not going to happen. ENCE look very comfortable with that approach. Fnatic taking a lot of gamble stacks on either side of the map, and each time they do it, it doesn't seem to be working out for them. Understandably so, after losing the first pick, they took a bit of a heavier lean towards the B site, but isolated towards short, couldn't really get much done. Brolan, with the flashbangs from flusha, gets 2 great frags there, but still not enough to get them back in the round. It will have to be another eco here for the Swedes, as they go 5-1 down. They're averaging $2,400 per player, and they'll be racking up the loss bonus, but still, this is very tough times. Not even a partial by this one. Only one player with Kevlar. That's Brolan, who managed to get an extra $600 courtesy of those 2 kills. He gets CZ and armor. They have 1 smoke and a flash, and a bit of positioning towards short from Crims.
Brutal economic start from Fnatic. It feels like we've seen them on 3 of the 6 rounds of play without real weaponry.
flusha has done a great job with the assistance of those flashbangs so far. That's another kill with the alley-oop from himself.
He was often praised for his nade damage as well.
Yes, indeed.
You put anything in his hands that he can throw, he's got a strong arm and a smart mind. So despite that early frag that was delivered by Brolan, that was of course the only investment Fnatic really made into this round. We talked about it. Which means ENCE still firmly in control of this round. It's going to be Sunny using that MAC-10 to investigate and get the information, or even more than that. Crims gets a face full of lead.
Yeah, Desert Eagle for Golden. Brolan does have the AK-47 and Kevlar. In terms of the final approach here, looks likely to be 35 seconds of 4 players towards the barmans. We do see 3 players stacked there, however. Brolan with the AK on the other side of the map. And it's going to be JW from the underpass position. It does go down. Golden still has a slight chance with the Desert Eagle. It needs quick 1Ds. There's the first. Can he get a second? Absolutely not. Brolan, the last player left, might as well save the AK at this stage. Coming towards the kitchen. Bomb will be planted. He knows he's got no chance of doing anything with this. Back he goes. With the timer so low, maybe if he denies the plant, there was a chance, but he wasn't in a position to do so. So we'll hold on to the AK-47. That helps out a lot. He means he can drop an AWP next round. He's got the Kevlar as well, and he's already got the CZ, so certainly a nice little bundle to take to the next round.
Pack his deal.
Yeah, exactly. He'll get a discount as he goes forward. 6-1 though. Certainly going to need every advantage they can get going forward. It's great to have the AK on the CT side. It enables you to be a bit more aggressive, especially if you're holding a position like the CT spawn area. You can go for those 1-taps and actually take some heads-up duels. A little bit more confidence.
Good scavenging done as well. They're going to be pulling out some weapons there. AWP for Sunny, AK and M4. To bring into the next. Great T-side so far from ENCE. It has been nothing short of, standard. Correct me if I'm wrong here.
Yeah, it hasn't been that interesting without being disrespectful. It's been a very standard Mirage game so far. Slow defaults from ENCE, wait for aggression, work a pick, execute together, which is absolutely fine. It's textbook stuff so far. Haven't seen anything too flashy from either side. Fnatic haven't had the resources to really go aggressive so far. You've got to expect that at some point, especially if JW on the server hasn't got too comfortable yet, and he's anything but in this round as he gets taken down very early on. A quick pick from Alu.
His corpse perhaps comfortable as it leans against the wooden frame, but flusha, he's trying to find just enough of a gap through that smoke to exploit, and he has. Perfect work from flusha back in the Fnatic jersey and in the server as Fnatic hold the lead now. On the cross is Crims. He's got himself the AWP trained on that cross and app. Sergey looking to equalize, and it cost him quite a fair share of his health, down to 3, but keeps things level in manpower.
Well then, got that work cut out for them now. Looking good for Fnatic. Brolan should be able to get the kill on Sergey here, no problem, which he does just after the flashbang catches him, so that's nice work. X7 trying to answer back, makes the noise to drop down, and it's Golden that gets the better of him. 3-on-1 now, Sunny. Yet to see him do anything remarkable in this ENCE jersey, waiting for that big performance to come through. We know how powerful this man can be, as he has got every chance to get the bomb down here. 45 seconds and an open A bomb site, but he is not aware of that. He might be checking CT spawn. He goes for the straight up plant here. No grenades to follow things up, but he has got a bit of space and wiggle room to work with.
No presence from CT as well, which enables him to get this after plant position. Ramp, it's going to be predictable.
They have not got a smoke though, but they have got the incendiary. He plays in a bit of a heads up position here. Flashbang thrown. And he knows he has to fight tooth for nail for this one. Needs to find a quick pick before repositioning. Where are they?
They're taking their time. Really running out of options, especially if Sunny gets the first here. Brolan will take the fight, and oh, that's brilliant from Brolan. Not going to fall foul to that one. It looks like they picked up a smoke and it is just in the nick of time. He snips the wires and the second's on the board for Fnatic.
Yeah, Broline doesn't check that position. He gets that first kill. They're really onto something there on the end side because there wouldn't have been much time. But Broline, he holds his nerve. We said that AK-47 would pay dividends and he gets the one frag. That is very important to the success of the 3 versus 1. It's round 9. ENCE have plenty of cash still, but it is starting to be whistled away at. Alu, after the reinvestment, is down to $2,000. Aerial 100, Sunny just under 1,000 as they send 4 players towards the A side. It looks like the flash attack and a bit of aggression with the CTs. Now they're starting to feel themselves a bit more. This is a bit more like it from Fnatic, trying to get some map control at the very start. Golden's been flashed in as he gets towards top and middle. Remember, the flash attack means just that. They flash over once and send 3 players out of the apartment, and look what it does to them. The Palace position is completely overwhelmed, and it will be ENCE just running away with that one. They changed the pace up completely, just as Fnatic seem to have cottoned on to what they're presenting, and it works out perfectly. It couldn't have been more unlucky for Fnatic, which at 1 round they go aggressive middle. There's 3 players coming out of the Palace.
Yeah, that's going to hurt. No resources able to be invested. They tried something, get caught off, and those that were a part of that project are now forced to save. Whether or not they will be able to is a different question, because X7 is behind enemy lines. Back's turn. Crims is about to just present his bottom, and it should be a quick double. Wow. Lovely work from X7. Potential for an AWP at side won't be happening. He's already got one in the hands of Sunny. He'll be throwing that over to Alu, and well, that works out absolutely perfectly. What a take onto A. It could not have been a better time for that kind of play and shit switch up.
Yeah, I love that tactic. It always seems to work out nicely, especially when you've got some keen fraggers on the server like ENCE. They timed it well. It was a perfect call, and there will be one more buy here for Fnatic. The money wasn't too bad, all things considered. They actually go for a double AWP setup here.
2 AWPs in play. The second in the hands of Golden. Crims, we've seen him opt for the second AWP at times as well. So with the pin pulled, this will be A smokes. Anticipating some early aggression from Fnatic, but they seem a little shy after their first adventure in the round prior.
A split looking very likely here. You can see the smoke set up for CT spawn and the steps position. You can see the presence towards middle as well. That'll be X7 and Sergey. Bomb not gathered yet, so this could be all a bit of a ruse. Trying to get Sunny in position, cause a bit of chaos. The bomb is recovered from T-spawn by area, but it does head back towards A. First shots come in. It's Crims to be exchanged by X7. Smokes towards middle now as JW. Remember, has that AWP. He's in the connector position, and it's Golden to land the shot. A little bit messy here from ENCE. Not clear as to what the final play is. They've now used all the utility, have no cover towards the A site, and got nothing from it.
This one does look like somewhat of a dud for the Finns, but to change that is this raw individual skill. Let's not forget, Aerial, Sunny, Alu still breathing. They have the time to play with, but there's no way they're going to be ready for this. Flusher, he's gone on such a mission all the way from B apartments. He has 2 backs presenting himself 2 rounds back to back. First it was X7, now it's Flusher giving them a taste. Lovely double. The round concludes, and ENCE, they're punished for their overutilization.
Yeah, I didn't like that from ENCE, so I won't lie to you. That just seems sloppy. They didn't really get mid-control at all for the A split. They weren't in position when players were committing towards A. Beautiful flank from Flusher. I don't take anything away from that. Yeah, it looks like he's just in tune with the game as he once was. Beautiful stuff. Money's still not broken for the ENCE side as Fnatic find their 3rd round. Still got to continue with the double AWP setup, and for good reason. But now you know that double AWP's out. That's when you can go for a proper execution here. The way to nullify those AWPs is with the smokes. As we mentioned, ENCE had run out of those by the time they fully committed towards the side last time. I don't think they're making that mistake again as they start to flash over a basic approach here, looking to catch them off guard. Brown's been dropped, Flusher needs multiple frags here, but the flashbang catches him. They know exactly where he is, and they'll take him down. JW does steal one away, but it's full control for the Finns. And like we said, an A execution, the perfect call against these double AWPs, which will have an absolute monstrous task now of retaking an A side.
Yeah, it looks almost impossible, especially now Sergey's about to be gifted CT. Flashes himself, but it's all in pursuit of the round win. Iz will get smoked down as well. They can just fall back now, hunker down, and let this round tick away. Good catch from Crims. Fnatic may still want to go for this one. Sergey, responsible for CT, does get the timing just right. Golden's going to have his back presented to him, and that should be the round win. This position alone should be enough to contest. JW, however, catching Alu, and another one from JW. It's all on Sergey. Gets himself his 2nd. Time's not there. They don't think they have it. Crims is on the kit. It's going to be close. And just not enough. ENCE take 8. Oh. What was that from JW? 4 frags in the round, desperately trying to pull them into their 4th.
It felt like that might have been enough there. It looked like they were saving originally, then Crim's got a kill that tempts them back into it, and JW, he still got it, baby, hitting absolutely everything there. That's beautiful stuff, but it's all down to that positioning from Sergey. Sure, it wasn't the cleanest finish there, but they win the round, and that's important, and it continues as we get into round number 12 here. It's the force buy from Fnatic. They'll give it everything they've got with the saved AWP. It's for Mass for Crims, 3 M4s. There's enough there. Only 1 kit, however. No AWP for Alu. So this is a good opportunity for Fnatic to really break the back of ENCE, but they do have to win the round first.
I've got a dumb question for you. Do you like
go.
those?
I like the way you set that one up. Go for it.
Yeah. Is it actually possible to throw the nice frag from Crims, just early inquisitive play, knows he's got the cover from top mid. Is it possible to throw the stairs and jungle smoke without the gap that people exploit from the stairs?
It is, but you need to throw, like most teams will actually opt to smoke the connector itself.
Deep, okay.
And then just Molotov towards jungle and then just focus on that position. Like that gap, seems to be very prevalent. You're right, it does happen quite a lot. That's why some teams just opt for a single connector smoke. Then you smoke on top of the steps as well sometimes. But yeah, that gap is a bit of an issue. But as long as you're aware of it and you flash it as well, it's not a massive deal.
Okay. Because it is, I mean, the cross is minimal. It's just from towards try box. So I think players are so cognizant of it. They can pre-fire, they can fight, and we are seeing the T's go for the underpass boost. It's not much of an information play. And of course, you can catch the player that's holding towards window from deep in jungle. This is a bit of a clown fiesta.
Yeah, you don't love to see this.
Alu got his clown shoes on as he jumps across. They're spotted, but it's Brolan to finish it.
Yeah, a round they'll probably want to forget at this point. Not looking too crispy here from ENCE, but still a chance for redemption. Nice work from X7 and Sergey. They've pulled this back actually in their favor with the low HP of JW. Can the bomb get planted though? Crims, he'll be patient for now. Only got the FAMAS in hand, bear in mind, and now there's not really much to work with. They have got a kit for JW, but a single smoke and a shot hit, but no frag found.
He manages to do so much with that low HP. Through the wall, he knows it has to be that way, and now JW, I think that's enough. The loss of Golden, he was their golden goose in this round. He was their way in. Now they're both so low. 3 to find. It will be Crim's death to confirm it. JW is going to try and keep hold of the big green.
That was a 5-on-3, and it all falls apart, even though they were gifted that second kill on Alu almost after the fumble towards the window. They knew exactly what was coming. They nailed that, but nice work from Sergey and X7, managing to open things up in the Palace and A-Ramp respectively. At 9-3 Fnatic. Although they're having some good individual moments, it just seems like when they have advantages, they're slipping away a little bit too easily. And that was a massive round because remember, they fully invested into that with not a lot. Had a FAMAS on Crims and bare bones utility. And these are the kills that really mattered. That shot decided it for me. Golden, difficult spot, but a fantastic shot there towards the connector. They'll have the AWP and some deagles. And the way JW is playing right now, there is a chance they win this. But it looks like a full-on A play here with 2 towards the Palace as they line up their smokes once again. Ali to smoke CT spawn.
As soon as they start flying through the air, though, JW will be able to get himself on towards those stairs and respond.
He's at the jungle right now.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see what he can do.
Smoke's landing. Sunny's already got Brolan on the way in. That's a problem. That's the gap we was talking about.
Indeed.
You can exploit it, but only slightly on that cross. It'll be X7 to jump across first, and he is caught by JW in the process. Stop that plant. It's planted safe on default though, and now, unfortunately for JW, you can't be the hero on a retake with that orb. That's a chance though. Sunny presents it. Jumping on top of the box to elevate himself towards CT, but Crim's still breathing. Alu on sandwich, hungry. Just saying the word sandwich makes me hungry actually. It's lunchtime. I find anything that was enough. I think JW unlikely he's going to be able to get away with this one. He's playing a game of survival. You have to kill Alu. Bullets are going to find him eventually, and so double digits on the T side from ENCE. They really are running over the Swedes at this point.
As I said, JW is playing well enough to make that round a possibility. He gets 2 nice shots, courtesy of the gap in the smoke once again on the first, but still not quite there. It's going to be double digits here as we enter round number 14. Not the game we really built up. That's the gap you're talking about. You can see how massive that is. Like, I'm not a big fan of that. I feel like there is a better way to approach it, but still, as long as you flash it, it should be fine. But he finds the timing regardless. We'll see the AWP for JW head towards connector, this time backed up by flashes, doing a great job in terms of utility support. He'll be using the smoke towards the Palace right now, and HE towards the A-Ramp. Does do significant damage towards Aerial, but will they find the first kill once again?
Even when he wasn't considered strong team, Fnatic. He was always such a strong AWPer on Mirage. JW, but now they're X7 walking into the site. Flusha does handle him. Roland's been having a nightmare on that defense. Keeps getting caught out in those individual duels. Now Sergey, with those smokes pluming, does have an opportunity to try and take the fight towards CT. No one is there initially. JW can hear the steps. Perfect catch as the smoke clears. That bomb loose. This is their best shot in a while here, Henry. This should and has to be a Fnatic round.
Yeah, with 1 minute on the clock, though, things can and will change. We'll see a 4 versus 2, I beg your pardon, with the bomb planted. And now the reposition. It's Alu who will be dropped, and Sergey surely doesn't have a say in this one. He'll flash through and be tagged up, and looks like the round we go in favor of Fnatic. Finally, a bit of luck falling in their favor. The final round, they'll be fully equipped as they pick up their 4th. No real reason to celebrate just yet. They need that last round. 10-5 is a must at this stage.
Yeah, no doubt. Especially considering the T side is next. Golden's great, but he hasn't had time with them. I mean, you're not going to have a fully fleshed out strat book at this point in time. Admittedly, they do have the advantage of being able to go back to what once was. Yes. As long as everyone's memory serves. That is a distinct advantage in terms of accelerating the development of Team Fnatic, with Golden now back on the roster.
Well then, again into the final round here. A couple of compromises, especially for ENCE, who will have to go down to a Deagle in the hands of X7. Fnatic looking very strong with 3 AKs. The AWP of JW doesn't seem to be missing right now. Continues that strong form. They continue to feed him, as this time getting a kill just through the smoke, and that's another frag as well for Flusha. ENCE are starting to fall apart here a little bit here. Fnatic waking up though, looking very strong individually. 5 versus 3, another chance to convert here as 1 minute 20 mark comes in. Does Flusha detect the presence beneath him? Of course he does, reading the game very well, and he will be taken down, but it doesn't seem to matter. Bomb dropped, round done. Aerial stuck towards the connector, they know exactly where he is. He's being shot in the back, and there we have it, 10-5. And for now, Alex, let's throw down to Frankie, who's going to give us the temperament and the feel down on the show floor.
Well, it's very quiet down here on the show floor. A few congratulatory fist bumps from Fnatic, but the team talk is on because they've just got 2 minutes to get their heads back into the game. They've got 10-5. It's not the end of the world, but really, can they beat ENCE, who are looking more confident than they have since Sunny joined them? We'll find out after the break.
CORSAIR DreamHack Masters continues. It is day 1, game 2. Myself, Machine, joined by Henry G. Fnatic struggling up against the Finns. It's a new roster for both. 2 players changed for Fnatic, and we are seeing a distinct advantage in favor of ENCE so far.
Yes, but ENCE still didn't look their best. There were certainly some sloppy moments from themselves in terms of the timings and fumbles with boost and all that sort of stuff. We're going to see an A execution here from Fnatic. They have 5 players on this side of the map, 4 of them heading out the A ramp. One's towards the palace, would be Crim's aerial, lies in wait towards the shadow position, but he's got a strike now. The Molotov lands at his feet. It's a nice opening pick from Brolan, and no response just yet. A little bit of damage inflicted by these USPs, but the bomb looks clear to go down.
Yeah, no sweat from Flusha. Tags him up. Roland's already got 1. JW matches him. Just 3 now for the retake for ENCE. It looks like they're going to be taking a pistol round each, it seems. Alu, however, does have somewhat of the linchpin to a retake. A flank on Crims. Oh, this could be good. Gets the first. He's not going to be ready for ramp though, but if he gets a second, it's all on. Game's not on. JW, huge pistol round from him. A triple kill in total and a 6th on the board for Fnatic. They needed that. Smiles now creeping onto their faces. Not forgetting Samuelson, of course, a new coach filling the shoes of Jumpy behind Fnatic. So I guess you could say 3 changes for Fnatic.
Yeah, I think he was part of the coaching team beforehand, but now he's the full-time head coach. I think he was in the analyst role while Jumpy had the reins. But there it is. Nice pistol from Fnatic, just what they needed. 4 players out of that A-ramp position with a couple of smokes down towards jungle and steps, as per tradition. The Molotov towards the shadow position, though, is what really set them up. As we'll see, a USP push here from ENCE. He's actually sometimes yield a couple of frags. There's the first. And now this Crims is taking damage. This could actually fall apart. They need to actually push a little bit further on the CT side. Will they find another frag? You better believe they will. What is going on here? It's full eco. It's a 5 versus 2, but will they detect the presence of Golden? They seem to have their crosshair in position. They seem to know. Flashbang coming through. There's another kill. How has this gone down? This is an absolute disaster. Not a single dollar brought into this round, and it's down to Flusha now. He's at 43 HP, bomb down in no man's land, and this is an absolute disaster. What a collapse from Fnatic. They didn't even put up a fight here. 1 frag found so far, and they're probably going to get air aerial, but that's it. That's a disaster. You don't see that too often. Like I said, sure, a mid-push can yield a couple of frags, you catch them off guard, but that many is insane.
A full eco, near clean sweep, and Alu's face says it all, almost disbelief. It was sick, and so is he. 11. ENCE, they steal it from Fnatic. I've had a couple of those rounds so far, Henry. There's been a couple
of stinkers.
A couple of stinkers. It really has been.
That's the kind of one that just ruins morale, though. You just had that pistol victory, the elation of winning that and thinking, okay, we're back in this game now, boys. Then you lose the full eco.
And
nade down the throat of JW. Oh, wow. That's a rough one. Like, USP victories do happen every now and then, but in a best of one, in the context of this game, with a new lineup and looking to prove yourselves, it's going to be demoralizing. At best, another grenade does about 100 damage there, as now the Walking Wounded will try and make their efforts known towards B.
And there's more where that came from. Sunny's sitting on a Molotov. If he gets the info, he's going to be boosted X7 up. And here comes the push. This is going to hurt. MP9, it's time for the nail gun. And it's time just to get either one. It's starting to finish things off with the UMP. Flush is left alone. Similar scenario to last time. However, this time he does have the Scout and full Kevlar.
Yeah, well, that's the problem, because they fully invest in this round, Alex. They're not going to get a bomb plan out of it. Saving the Scout doesn't really do much for them, I'm afraid.
Disaster. It just goes from bad to worse for Fnatic. Winning that pistol, the point you were making is so crucial as well, because you know that the words exchanged. The words exchanged after that pistol is, we've got this now, boys. That's what we needed. Let's turn it around. You're really planning out how you're going to go, and you get USPs charging at you down middle. Suddenly it's a 2v5, and you're just sweating. There's a Krieg in the kill feed, and it's not yours anymore. Oh.
Yeah, it's agonizing to watch. And there's a full eco now. This has got 13-6 written all over it. And now they're on the T side, where things become a little more difficult to coordinate. They can't really buy anything, Alex. They have to take this Glocks no armor. You can't even justify a PC-50 at this stage. No one's got residual cash. Everyone's hovering around $2,000.
Not a single penny spent.
And you're not going to be winning around like ENCE did with Glocks no armor, let me tell you.
Aerial ensures that is the case. M4A1. It's always been his weapon of choice, and for now it's going to find him 3. Quick one to ENCE to put 13 on the board. They're closing in on 16 fast. I love X7's custom mouse bungee, by the way. If you haven't seen that before, he does it everywhere he goes. He just whips out the tape. You know,
that's what I used to do back in the day.
There you go.
Yeah, you
Pop that in your suitcase.
Don't need anything too flashy. Just a roller gaffer, and you're good to go.
Is that how you talk? Roller gaffer?
Yeah.
All right, Governor.
That's how I talk now. We'll see the next round come through. No orbs available for Fnatic. A woeful start in the second half after winning the pistol. They're really going to have to dig deep now to make a dent in this second half. Alu up to his usual antics in towards the Palace, looking to get that first frag. A flash over towards A ramp would be everything. Oh god, it's brutal. It just goes underneath as well. Flasher can do nothing but hold mouse one, spray and pray. Really lives up to expectations as it will be dropped. 5 on 4, and now discombobulated. They've lost control towards A completely. They pretty much have to go B, Alex. They have no idea if they're being flanked at this point. They have no control of Palace. They have to go B, and they have to go now.
One frag, a fantastic coordinated assault from ENCE, and it really does light a fire beneath Fnatic. They have to go now through short to be received by X7, who has got a deep smoke on Abs. That's big. That's the way in.
Is big.
Down to Sunny, the turret. He has to get more than one on the cross here before his teammates arrive. The cavalry's on its way. Great smoke enables Fnatic to get to that site safely. This is their best shot in a while. This is a must-win for the Swedes now. Brolin responsible for the door. The smoke won't last forever. Sunny's going to take the first fight. It's big. Sunny's on the way in. Bomb's still not down. Where is it? Golden's done it. Bomb in. Disadvantage now, though, as ENCE start to push. Rather coordinated as well. JW in prime position for more than one. It has to be. Does catch Alu as well before Sergey gets to him. A 1 versus 1. Looking for his second frag. Sergey, the flash is good. It causes Crims to turn, and he converts. From a must-win, it's the 14th from ENCE and Fnatic. They're going to run out of chances soon.
Yeah, it looked like they had some entry points there towards the B bomb site after losing the first pick towards the A ramp position. Their only option was to go B, as we said. Luckily for them, there's only one player waiting there. That was Sunny with the UMP. Didn't really do much with it, though. And we have heard as well that Sunny's just kind of filling holes right now. He's kind of playing positions that Alexi was, so it's not really the star role. Sitting in the B bomb site, it can be very difficult to fend off multiple players, especially at the SMG. But Sergey, as you mentioned, that flashbang was perfect. Even though it didn't flash Crims, it took his crosshair off the position and enabled him to actually get into a spot where he could win out in a 1 versus 1 duel. 1 round for match point, and another strong grenade at the start. Lands in the pocket of Crims and takes him down to 72. They have got rifles across the board, but a distinct lack of utility. 2 smokes and 3 flashbangs remaining as we hit the 1:35 mark. It really is far from ideal.
A lot of the heavy lifting done in the first half, but the second has just been completely nullified. Where are Fnatic in half number 2? They've got 1 round and it's the pistol to show for it. Immediately lost the full eco second round, and that's the beginning of the end, as they put it. Crims, however, looking to change things. Great catch onto Alu. And they previously had quite an aggressive stance towards ramp. This round, no different. Quite the split of CTs here. Henry, what do you make of this?
Well, they're going to be trying to apply pressure towards the B apartments and the A ramp, knowing they've lost connector at this point. It's the 4 versus 4, trying to get any information they can. They still only have 2 players on this side of the map, and actually it's pretty strong positioning from the CTs here. You wouldn't necessarily expect 2 players to be in this sort of position. Rotating towards Sandwich. Sergey now surely going to be checked by Golden. It's all down to this frag really as to who wins the round. Nice shot from Golden. Can he find a second? He absolutely can. That should be round at this point. They've done well.
2 crucial frags from Golden. He often had his games, but in the battle for fragging in-game leaders, he's still got a lot to prove. Great catch from X7 as well. It's not really going to mean much in the grand scheme, though. This is Fnatic's round. X7's just going to try and do some damage, try and keep them honest. They haven't got many extra schmeckles in their pockets.
Yeah, every kill he can get at this point is going to have a knock-on effect, because if they can find match point in the next round, there won't be much money to reinvest with Golden. They need to be very careful here. Brolan will back him up. Good frag, even though Golden goes down to 5 HP. Crims is confirming that there's no ninja antics going on here. Wild Spray doesn't need to be part of this, really. He just needs to get out there and survive. He will be in danger of going down with a blast. He will get himself out of the danger zone here. So he'll be absolutely fine. Not quite. The bomb does take him. And as we mentioned, that does have a knock-on effect, because if they lose the next round, it goes to match point. Money just won't be there. And it's still going to be a bit of a struggle here. They get $3,500 per player for winning out on a round. That's more than maximum loss bonus if you don't get the bonus of the bomb being planted. So you'll still struggle to reinvest. Crims will come into this round with an AK and 1 flashbang. So still pretty good overall, but no AWP, that's for sure, as ENCE have another strong buy here, still hunting for that match point.
Lots of nades thrown out early. You can see another smoke bloom. That's going to be the response from the Finns, is boost into window. Excuse me, towards ladder room. It's going to be a prime position as well. A quasi crossfire. Sunny can support the low window angle once that smoke clears, which is exactly where Crims is about to put himself. This is an interesting duel. He has to win this, Crims. Should Sunny take that fight, it's the way in. No trade available either. Aerial connector, Alu back jungle. A standoff, as it were. Bombs at spawn as well. Fnatic are not making any waves, and that's a great Molotov. Gonna force Brolan off. The sound cue will be there as well. They'll get the information that there's at least somebody present, and Sunny, more than that, finally takes the fight.
Yeah, that's a great shot from Sunny. Crims is waiting for that. We saw it from his POV. He knew there was a chance, and the tendencies of ENCE suggested that Sunny could be in that position, but still he rails him.
Gets away.
Yeah, and the nade would have taken him down, but he gets out of there. The spam comes through. That was such a great play from JW. 1 more bullet would have done it. He doesn't know, but he was so tantalizingly close as the HE once again goes right down his throat. 30 seconds remaining. They have to go B, Alec. They'll have to limp in as well with no utility.
It's going to be brutal, the bullets from ENCE, and especially the positioning. Let's not forget Alu's actually managed to get himself in towards Kitchen as well. He can be responsive and be there right in the nick of time. Catches Brolan. He doesn't have to do any more than that. The eyes are on him. He's having another go, though. Flusher doesn't go down. Now Gold on the flank. This is great for Fnatic. 3v3. Sunny not going to get checked. Already gets 1. 2 more with 10 seconds left. They have to kill him now. It has to be now. Otherwise, that bomb will not go down. 7 seconds. It's not enough. The frags are there. Great work from Aerial as he picks himself up, and lovely. I think that was a double.
My goodness.
15 now to 7. Again with Fnatic close, but no cigar.
Yeah, it was scary for ENCE towards the end there. It looked like a successful B approach, but Sunny just tucking himself behind the bench for so long. He caused an absolute ruckus there, enabled Aerial to come and clear things up. And like I said, the fact that money was going to be so low, if they lost that previous round, they only had 3 rifles here, a couple of CZs. Has to be a fast-paced round as they commit towards middle. Alu can take all the time in the world to nail that shot, but can he find a second? You better believe it. He continues to find kill after kill here, just lining them up and knocking them down. Just Flusher remaining. It's match point. It's map done. As we'll see, Flusher try and do anything he can with this, but chances are very, very slim indeed.
Yeah, you got to give credit to where it's due to ENCE. Sunny, 20 frags, quiet first half from him. He's really come alive on the defense. Alongside him as well, it's just going to be Aerial, Sergey, all of them delivering. Flusher, he has been spotted and eliminated, and so it concludes 16 to 7. Potter had it right, and coming in hot for this one.
And you can't say that JW didn't have, Fnatic didn't have the stars turning up. JW with a monstrous performance on the AWP, but he was the only shining light, I would say. Brolan had his moments as well with 14 kills, but still, ENCE, even with a pretty mediocre performance from them, it wasn't a tactical masterclass. No one really going above and beyond. They still made it look very easy at that stage. So worrying signs for Fnatic. First game of the tournament, now down in the lower bracket after that first best of one.
Yeah, Fnatic, I mean, coming in with this, so many roster changes, a coach, 2 new players, and new leader, I mean, there is going to be some volatility. I wouldn't be surprised if we see them a different map, a different day, looking completely different.
Well, it was very disappointing for Fnatic. 16-7 is the scoreline. They need to pull their socks up to stand a chance going on further in the tournament. For now, though, we'll throw it over to the analyst to break that one down.
Yeah, we're going to break it down as best as we can. An unfortunate start there for Fnatic, but high fives for ENCE because, once again, it looks a little bit easy.
It did look very easy for ENCE side of things, and I gotta say, Fnatic's approach on that CT side, generally speaking right now, we don't see many teams just consistently playing CT spawn, doing the jump peek and trying to gather information. That was a play that was in fruition a year ago, maybe even a little bit more than a year ago. Nowadays, teams are playing in a little bit more forward positions, having your cerebral player, having that anchor blood in them, and surviving and buying time and creating looks and opportunities for his connector player, his window player, allowing them to find frags, but that's just not how Fnatic approached it.
Jacob, one thing I want to kind of point out right now is the utility usage of ENCE. Can you talk me through about what some of the things you saw were?
I mean, I think it was too easy for them, as you said, you know.
Right.
No, but honestly, they could just walk up towards that A bomb side, and they used the utility fine in a way that they sort of like choked down the position so they could only be in CT spawn, and they knew, you know, as soon as we use our utility towards on the balcony, we use it towards sandwich, well, there's only one place they can be, so they sort of like made sure that Fnatic couldn't go anywhere because they played so passively. I will say, though, in beginning, Brolan tried to be aggressive towards, you know, towards Slope in the beginning. He tried to make the plays, but he got shut down within the first few rounds, and ever since he was just playing a little bit too scared. And even in situations where they were down 3 against 5, they just walked up towards the A-bomb side, took it over, and basically won that game by the first half.
Yeah, and I mean, speaking of winning the game, 20-13 with 90 ADR would be that of Sunny. We're going to have the opportunity to hear from him direct via Frankie.
We do have Frankie, and I can't believe I just spoke about myself in the third person. I'll iron that one out over the week. Now, Sunny, congratulations. Fantastic performance from you. What was the feeling like in the team going into this tournament, though? Because we're still in that kind of settling process for you coming into ENCE.
I think we were pretty confident. We know that we are good in Mirage, and that's pretty much it. We had enough experience in New York. We had 2 best of 3s. And we had good preparation coming in this match.
We know you're good on Mirage. It used to be a signature map for ENCE before you joined the lineup. But actually, the results on Mirage recently haven't really been that consistent. So why did you pick it today?
Because we just trust ourselves, and we know that we played good in practice. And if we could just kind of win the mental block we had in Moscow and New York, then we knew that we were going to win.
What did you do to overcome that mental block?
We just told ourselves that we should calm down, that there is nothing to lose. We have 1 week of practice before 2 events, so we just need to play like we do in practice.
Talk to me about the second round of that second half. You'd lost the pistol, you went full eco, didn't spend $1, and yet you managed to take the fight to Fnatic in mid and win. So talk me through how you won that one.
I think Brolan didn't expect me to be so fast up short. I mean, they waited a bit too long, and he ran out alone in mid, so I got lucky and I didn't hit him twice. So that created a gap for our teammates to push mid because he didn't spot them all. And also I was pretty lucky in killing the underground guy because he had UMP, I had USP and no Kevlar. I just dinged him twice mid-air, I think. But yeah, we played it good together, and they weren't expecting that.
And how is this for you personally as well? Because we started to see you really grow into your role in New York towards the end of that tournament. And now here as well, 20 frags. Not bad at all, Sunny. You're clearly showing why ENCE picked you up in the first place. So for you personally, what does it mean to know that you're now showing up on the server?
To be honest, it was best of 1, and we all played good. So there's a couple of frags which I got more than my teammates. It doesn't matter at all. Al was calling great, and everybody was playing really calm. We lost some silly rounds, even though we won it pretty easily, I would say. But yeah, personally, it doesn't matter at all. Like, I just want to go deep in the playoffs and play good as a team, and that would matter much more.
Well, thank you so much for talking to me, Sunny. Good luck with your best of 3 later on, and let's head back to the desk.
Run at the playoffs is what they're going to have to look forward to, but not for some time. In fact, right now is where we can begin to digest what has happened over on the other side. We talked about Fnatic heavily in the pre-match. Now we can talk about them as the losers that they find themselves being.
Yeah, it was a little bit disappointing. I think we all expected that it would be a close game. We all expected that Fnatic had something to show. And I will say, you know, I think ENCE played better than we're giving them credit for. I think they actually played at a relatively high level here. They made it easy for themselves. They didn't overcomplicate things. Whereas for Fnatic, they needed to, I guess maybe this is a case where they need more time in order to figure out how to deal with stuff like that. It seemed way too easy just to lock them down. As said before, and just walked up towards that A bomb side and basically took over the game in that sense. They won the opening duels as well, 17-6. So everything according to plans for ENCE, whereas for Fnatic, that was to me a little bit disappointing.
It was definitely disappointing and underwhelming at times. I mean, there was so many instances where we saw the players on Fnatic's side get caught off guard towards that A. And I think A on Mirage is turning into, evolving into a site that you need to put a lot of your focus and attention onto. We saw MIBR kind of struggling with this with Phelps, just kind of leaving him out on an island and coming in and really relying on their retake towards A to pull them through in the end. And I think that's kind of what Fnatic did, kind of just left Broland on his own. And I don't think that's going to be good enough when you're playing versus the best teams in the world.
I agree.
No, not against the best teams in the world, especially when you start to run into I guess number blockers like what we have right here. Now this, yes, okay, this is correct. 20 frags for Sunny. He did top that side of ENCE, and then if you look over there on the Fnatic side, somewhat of a quiet affair. It was said that JW showed up bigger and in a bigger way than his teammates, and I mean, I just think that they didn't have any answer whatsoever for ENCE.
No, and I will agree with that. Just wanted to point out here, I think that the entry kills on the scoreboard right here is reversed. It should be the other way around. So Crims didn't have 10 entry kills in this one just to make that sure. Otherwise, that would have been a blowout, you know, if ENCE were able to beat them having that many entry kills. I will say, though, that I think Mirage is one of those maps that we haven't seen ENCE play in quite some time for whatever reasons. People, they tend to remove it against them, and ENCE haven't really been willing to pick it. But Mirage is a strong map for them. Ever since Cologne, where they got, you know, a defeat to Heroic they shouldn't have gotten, it's been one of the maps that we know they can play to a relatively high level. So it's good to see them finding the map pool. It's good to see Sonny finding some form here. And as said, if ENCE can elevate the players around them, if Ariel can get going as well, ENCE is a top team, and ENCE is a team that could go to the playoff.
And there's still a chance here for Fnatic. Let's not write them out. And
sure.
Let's talk to them direct about that, too, because we do have Broland on the other end of the line here. And provided that he can hear me, hello there, not such a good morning.
Nah, not really.
Man, that's a rough start to the tournament. Obviously, you just took an L against ENCE, 16-7. What do you think went wrong in your own eyes?
I mean, I think that we did not play as a team this game. I think I got caught off guard on inside, maybe like 4-3 rounds. I think we had a good, we know how they play, but we thought they should play more faster rounds, but they had a default rounds the first 3 rounds, and I think it was. I think they had a good game plan and stuff. So.
Hi, Broland. Do you have any protocols set in place for yourself towards that A bomb site? What are you communicating to your teams mid-game to try to adjust? Is there any adjustments or improvisations that's coming out?
I mean, I think I did not play my game, or I did not play my official game or pack game. I think I were a little bit scared this game. I think I got caught off guard in towards ticket, and I think I should play more towards slope and play more in them and not out.
So, Broland, let me ask you a question about Fnatic as a whole. You know, let's just put this match aside. Let's talk about your team and where you find yourselves. You are the up-and-coming star of Sweden, and now you find yourselves back with Flusha, JW, and the crew. Talk to me about the team internally.
I loved it. I like the team a lot. We had a boot camp before this event, and it felt very, very good. I mean, we need this practice wrestles into the game, and we did not show it this game. So.
Broland, it's not a secret that it's been a little bit of a rough time in the Fnatic camp. Do you believe that bringing in Flusha and Golden is going to show the world and obviously show yourself that Fnatic can still be competitive with the best teams in the world?
I think we can be top 5 for sure. I mean, Golden is a talented game leader, and the Flusha is a very smart player. Yeah, I think we can easily be top, not easily, but be a top 5 team.
Is that the goal, top 5?
Yeah, for my goal at least.
Okay.
Hey, man. Well, I know that you're going to be awaiting the outcome of some other matches, but you still got a little bit of time. Anything you want to say to the Swedish fans at home?
Can I take Swedish?
Yes, you can.
hade en liten dålig start, men jag hoppas vi tar matchen ikväll mot Tyler Ulvita ELCE. Hoppas ni fortfarande supportar oss. Tack.
Easy as that. All right, thanks, man. We'll see you a little bit later.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have wrapped up what is Fnatic versus ENCE. That one's done. It's over. Mirage for the first time. Hopefully the last time we see it this entire... No, I'm kidding. We do have some more matches coming up, but I need to ask you guys to kind of round this one out.
Yeah, I think the overall sense of this game is that Fnatic was a little bit disappointing. ENCE seemingly coming off to a good start. As we talked about as well, Christine, that ENCE, they haven't produced the results that we would have expected for the first 2 tournaments, but they've been playing close games. So if this could be the game that got up them over the hurdle, you know, and get them to believe that they basically have what it takes in order to beat the best, then that would be nice. Because I think ENCE obviously has a place within the top teams in the world.
Definitely, and I mean, there are still some positive lights at the end of the tunnel for Fnatic. We saw Flusha multiple times getting really solid flanks and multi-kills off. These kinds of, he's known for being that cerebral player, right? And just getting out of his comfort zone, getting back into the groove of things. I mean, these bodes well for Fnatic's side of things.
JW had a great game as well. That's worth to point out. He was super good with AWP and basically the JW style of playing Counter-Strike, being all over the place and just being annoying to play against.
Right. Well, hopefully we can see a little bit more of that later to come. But right now we do have to go to a quick break. So when we do come back from the break, guess what, boys and girls? I have another matchup coming your way. It's going to be that of Na'Vi versus North here for the CORSAIR DreamHack Masters. Na'Vi looking to bounce back, looking to make things look sturdy again. And it's going to be Guardian that's donning the jersey yet again. Now on the North side, well, they just want to add something to the Danish scoreboard. We'll be right back after this break.